Hello everyone, welcome to this video that I'm going to talk about. Yesterday, Five Nights at Freddy's turned 8 years old. 8 years, wow, I feel old. Well, not really, but overall this game has just grown so fast. First we started with Fnaf 1, all the way to Security Breach. And now we're getting more Fnaf content, hopefully. But we've got all kinds of Fnaf stuff, like merchandise. For example, we got a calendar with the main star who turned 8 years old. And I've got Legos, even more, because I've got figures and minis. And the biggest thing, a poster. That's right, I have the FNAF poster. And not just all, I have Funko Pops, and they're right behind me. This franchise grew fast. Too fast. Well, not too fast, but I saw it growing. It started off small with the first game with lots of people playing it. Markiplier played it, Yummy Mash, Jacksepticeye, Corey X Kenshin. There are hundreds of people who played it. Even the popular YouTubers that everyone loved. And, this game was small but growing. Eventually, FNAF 2 came out. And that just changed everything. No doors, just only 2 vents and a big hallway where you could flash a flashlight. And more animatronics. New animatronics. 2 new animatronics. We got to meet the Puppet and Balloon Boy. But we also got to meet the toy animatronics. And the withered animatronics. This just grew fast. Not really. I don't know why I'm saying that, but the second game featured lots of different stuff. You could put on a Freddy mask to avoid being killed by the animatronics, and many games. There are many games where we get to meet the purple guy. Then Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was coming out, and that just... everyone noticed that new animatronic, wondering, who is this? And when they saw the trailer, was it Golden Bonnie? But it was Springtrap. That's what we met! The one and only Springtrap. The one who keeps burning in flames all the time. That's the first game we ever met Springtrap in 2015. And that's how I knew Five Nights at Freddy's. I remember at elementary school, some people were telling me oh, I heard of this game called Five Nights at Freddy's, and my brother just installed Five Nights at Freddy's 3 for me. And I just was wondering, what even is Five Nights at Freddy's? I was wondering what Five Nights at Freddy's is, and that's when I knew it. A brown bear with a top hat, a black top hat, and a black bow tie. He was terrifying. Let me tell you that. As soon as I played the first game on my tablet, it was scary. Man. Even the game over screen was the terrifyingest thing. The one animatronic that really, really scared me was Withered Chica. just the way they made her beak so broken just was like so scary. Then when Five Nights at Freddy's 3 came out, it felt like the end of the franchise. Like, that was it. No more Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Until something changed. And that was being Five Nights at Freddy's 4. The last chapter. Which is not really the last chapter. We were introduced to a new form. This time, you're no longer in an office, looking at cameras, getting phone calls at night. You're playing as a little child in a bedroom with a flashlight scaring off the animatronics. That was just different. Especially with Markiplier in the first night, and with the Bite of 87 joke that people still make jokes about. But I think eventually now stopped due to reasons. This game was still small, but the game just was so terrifying that I can't even play Five Nights at Freddy's anymore. Because all you have to do is like open the door, listen for breathing before turning on the flashlight. When I saw the trailer for Fnaf 4, and when I saw Nightmare Bonnie's jump scare, I was terrified from that. I just threw myself back. As soon as I saw it, I was just like, yeah, that's how scary Scott makes his games. Eventually, we figured out that the child we're playing with has an evil brother that killed him on his birthday with throwing him in Fredbear's mouth that caused him to bite his head, and eventually just left him at the hospital. And Michael was just so sorry about what he did. Honestly, Night 6 ending has to be one of the saddest things I've ever seen in a Five Nights at Freddy's game. At all. Like, then there was the other ending with the chest. That just got the whole lore. Everyone saw that message when it said, perhaps some things are left forgotten, but we still don't know what's in that chest. I'm still curious. Then the whole thing was over. Scott said thank you, and then something odd happened. FNAF World. Adventure characters. What is going on, Scott? Yep, an RPG game of Five Nights at Freddy's, playing as little cartoonish characters of the favorite game, with the favorite characters that we played it through, 1 through 4. Eventually, we discovered another Five Nights at Freddy's game was coming. And that was Sister Location. And that's when we met Circus Baby, Laura, Funtime Foxy, and Funtime Freddy. Even entered. That's when we got to know more of the lore. And this game just was the hyped game. I can't even play that game either. Only I play the custom night, but I've only gone to night 5. It's scary. Because the one thing that really scares me the most is Funtime Foxy's level. You're in a room with a flashing beacon camera. I don't know. It's a beacon. Whatever. But it's just terrifying. Like, you're in a dark room, finding out where he is, but his jump scare is so scary that I can't even relate. Then there's a mini game where we figure out that Circus Baby killed Elizabeth Afton by scooping her. And that just... Then Ultimate Custom... Or the Custom Night came out for Sister Location. And... that just... It wasn't part of the story. But... we did get to see how Michael Afton turned into, like, a second version of Purple Guy, or just spit out Ennard. Found Afton, and Afton is still alive from that fire. He didn't die, surprisingly. And that's when we got Pizzeria Simulator, aka Fnaf 6. Yes, Fnaf 6. That was the different game. That was just a different game. You own a pizzeria, adding things, just figuring out if you want to throw away a scrapped animatronic or just keep it or defending it off. Eventually just burning the whole place down. And, of course, we're playing as William Afton's friend. His old friend, Henry. Yep. That game was just one of the craziest games. But still good. That's when we got introduced to little old Helpy. And he's still a fan favorite. Not really, but... Then later, Ultimate Custom Night came out, which was not part of the franchise. I mean, it kind of was, because it was just William Afton's hell, because we're playing as him, I think. And he's got to defend the animatronics. Because that's when the animatronics say, the one you shouldn't have killed. That just brought so much lore. And by beating Custom Night, but when you get all the cutscenes from Ultimate Custom Night, you get one cutscene with Golden Freddy just twitching around and just nothing happens. With the creepy music just playing in the background. That's all I could say. Later, something changed. A new FNAF game that was not developed by Scott Cawthon, but Scott was wanting them to develop it. And it was a different version. It was VR. Yep. VR. Where we got introduced to Glitch Trap, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. That just has to be one of the most scariest games. FNAF Help Wanted in VR. I remember Markiplier mentioned about that in his videos when he played FNAF 1 back in 2014. He's like, imagine if this was VR. Well, Markiplier, like 5 years later, it happened. FNAF Help Wanted happened. Okay, that voice just, I don't know. But it's still kind of funny how he predicted that, and it actually happened. I think Help Wanted had to be the scariest FNAF games. I remember one time, I saw someone mentioning in a video that Scott threw his VR headset across the room. One time Markiplier even mentioned in this video that there was a spider in his VR headset. That's kind of not fun. Then later, the DLC for Help Wanted came out, which was Curse of Dreadbear, when we got introduced to the main antagonist, Dreadbear, which is a Frankenstein version, and Grim Foxy, which was a Jacko version of Foxy, and then a bunny mask, which brought theories, until we realized that that bunny mask, when we put it on in the main hub and look at the Glitch Trap plush, we realized that the person who is talking to them is working for them. And that led off to Security Breach, which was the hyped game everyone was waiting for. Even I was waiting for it. When I heard about it, I was just like, okay, this is the thing now. This game changed everything. Security Breach was a different aspect. It's free roam. You're no longer sitting in an office defending the animatronics. You still are, but this time you're hiding from the animatronics, which are Monty, Roxy, and Chica. Even the staff bots try to alert the animatronics, especially being chased by Vanny, which doesn't appear too much in the game. Only 1 minute. Why steal wool? hopefully we get to see more Vanny in Security Breach Ruin, which I'm really hyped for, not gonna lie. Then later in Security Breach, it's not just those guys. We were chased by endoskeletons and even Vanessa too. And Freddy is the only one who is helping you throughout the game. You collecting security badges, going to different places, getting a phaser blast or a phas cam, crushing, like, destroying the animatronics. That was just like, that made me want to play the game. I heard a lot of criticisms from Security Breach, which really was really sad to hear, because that had to be the best game. Like, people are just saying that the game is buggy or the lighting isn't good, but I mean, I didn't really blame them too much because there were lots of bugs and kind of the lighting wasn't so good. Eventually, I heard Steelwool updated it and made the lighting better. They even added a fog system, which is so cool. I think that Steelwool Studios was trying because that was their first ever free roam game ever. I mean, Help Wanted did have some free roam, and maybe they did make some free roaming happen in their VR games. I don't know, because I just knew them when Help Wanted came out. Security Breach has to be one of the best games. Oh yeah, and then there's Fnaf AR too, but that was before Security Breach. Fnaf AR isn't really part of the story. It's just like an AR game with your phone, looking around, shocking an animatronic, and then seeing skins of Springtrap, Chica, Bonnie, and Freddy, or Foxy, or Baby. That just was like, I just got people like, oh, these skins suck. I don't like some of the skins, but I do like some. Then, like, when FNAF 3 or 4 came out, probably before FNAF 4 came out, maybe, I don't know. But when I discovered FNAF, I discovered that there were more FNAF fan games, and they were kind of FNAF related. Like, there was one FNAF game I remember knowing, and that was Five Nights at Candy's. There are 3 games of it, and there's a 4th one coming soon. I'm even excited for it. Like, there are almost 4 games. The first is featured with a cat, a blue cat, another cat that's pink, a robot that you could just draw on that's withered, a penguin, an old version of Candy, a rat, mascot, animatronic, a monkey, and just, that was the best fan game ever. Then there was a second one with an old factory with broken versions of them, and the third one was FNAF 4 related. That was just the best fan game I've ever seen. But it wasn't just the only FNAF fan game. There was Those Nights at Rachel's, which was made by Nixon. The Joy of Creation. Well, Those Nights at Rachel's is no longer a thing. The Joy of Creation. One Night at Flumpty's. Pop Goes. There are others. But the one game that everyone is just waiting on is FNAF Plus. That is just gonna be the best game. Probably. Like, I'm even waiting for it too. I mean, it looks really good, and probably gonna be the terrifyingest thing. It's just gonna be a remake to Five Nights at Freddy's. Nixon is still gonna work on the Joy of Creation, and yeah. And One Night at Flumpty's is now stopped. 3 was the final one, but it's a really good FNAF fan game with, like, an egg and other characters just chasing you around in a really good art style. The creator just wants to move on, and I hope you're doing good, man. I've kind of forgot the creator's name, but I hope you're doing good, man. And Pop Goes, it's still even continuing. When I heard about it, I loved it a lot. Still a good game. But there are more FNAF fan games out there. And guess what? We got movie news to FNAF! Finally! Yeah, the movie was announced 8 years ago. But now they're working on the models. I even uploaded this on my community tab, so you can go check that out. Anyways, I just want to say happy 8th anniversary to FNAF 1, even if it was yesterday. You know what? I just realized. This may sound a little... This joke may be unfunny, but it's not really a joke. FNAF is 8 years old. The day it was in and it was August 8th. And this month is the 8th month. Okay, I'm going to end the video here right now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.